Many of you have been asking for an updated video on the gun main tips. I have made one previously, although it is outdated. It's still a great video though, but this gun main tips and advice series I'm making will be of far better use to you, so subscribe if you want to see more like this. This video will run through some gun main tips from beginner level to advanced in no particular order, and I'm sure all of you will get better after watching this video regardless of your current skill level, as many of these tips are already gatekept by a small minority in the community. I also have a sponsor for this video, so if you want to skip it then I'll also add timestamps. Anyways, onto the video now. Alright, first I'm going to go over settings and build for those of you who are new to gun main. Skip to the next timestamp if you've already configured yours correctly. If not, then watch this. So your stats of course should be max in melee, defense and gun, with your race being rabbit or mink. In items, you're going to be using Soulcane, preferably upgraded. Acid and rifle, preferably upgraded once again. Pilot helmet or lay, this gives health regen, this gives speed. This pairs really well with macro, which I'll go over in the next tip. Yeah, superhuman, rumble, acid and rifle, Soulcane. Configure this in any order that you want to, whatever suits you. So now you can check your FPS with shift and F5. If your FPS is on the lower end, which is usually below 60, then I recommend turning your graphics down to around 2 to 4 bars ish. And if it's still low, even after turning your graphics down, turn on fast mode as well. Counter should always be on. Now shift lock switch, this is down to preference. I would personally turn it off, but you know, it's whatever. Camera sense, so this should be in a range of 800 dpi and around 0.15. Anything more is usually too excessive and anything less is usually too slow, although sensitivity does come down to preference, so if it works for you then just keep it and don't change it. Volume, whatever, preference. Full screen, I think there are benefits to being on with an FPS boost, although if you have it off for other reasons then you know it's fine. Graphics mode, if it's on automatic turn it on to manual. As I said before, it should be on 2 to 4. If you get high FPS on 4 then you can always turn it on. That should be it, moving on to the next tip now. Tip number 1 is to download a macro. First of all, I'll tell you what a macro does, then I'll show you a demo of what it does, and then after that I'll show you how to download it. So what macro does is it spams a keybind. In this instance it will be Q for dash, as it allows you to have more control over your movement and you're much faster. It pairs really well with pilot helmet for the speed buff. Now is the comparison of movement between a macro and without a macro. As you've just seen, macro is really powerful. It can make you faster, it can give you more control of your movement, and overall it just improves you as a player. I saw a great benefit in my just skill overall when I swapped to macro, although it did take a few days getting used to it. I really do recommend it, and now I'll show you how to get it. Before I show you the download process, let me say that I don't know how to macro without a mouse software. So if your mouse does not support the software, then this tutorial will not help you. Anyways, first of all, you're going to head over to Google here, go to the search bar and then search your mouse name and then the software. So, for example, I have the Glorious Model O mouse, so I search for Glorious Model O mouse and then software. If you have like a Razer mouse, you'd search Razer mouse software. You see it? Alright, now you want to click onto the website page, and then you want to just download the software. If you have a Razer mouse, and you do the same. If you have like a Logitech, you do the same, etc. I can't make a tutorial for every mouse software, so search up on YouTube a macro tutorial for your mouse software, and then watch someone else's video on it. Also, make sure the macro keybind is Q for dash. As you can see here, avatar sizing makes a huge difference with hitboxes, which can not only make you harder to hit, but also make your movement a lot better and almost seem, faster. It's practically a necessity, especially when you're fighting against a gun main. It can be the difference between a loss and a win. Here is the best avatar combo that I know of. Practically any small avatar works, but the Magnified legs, just the Equinox torso, head and arms, which comes out to 550 Robux, is most commonly used by everyone. Another benefit is that it also shows more of your screen, meaning aiming is much easier with one. So what RCO stands for is Roblox Client Optimization, and then what it does specifically is it uncaps your FPS from 60, it gives you an FPS boost, and then also on top of that it gives you 21 graphic bars and many more benefits. It's basically just a better FPS unlocker. So now I'll show you how to download it and install it onto your PC. So first you want to go into Google and then search up RCO GitHub. You want to look for the L8X one and then just click on this link. You should see all of this. Now you want to scroll down to installations and then it should say download them here with the hyperlink on here. Then you just want to click on this. It should take you to this page here. And then click on rco-installer.cmd. It should download the file. As you can see here, rco-installer.cmd is downloaded. And then what you want to do is drag it onto your desktop. But yeah, as I was saying, now that you're here and it's on your desktop, you want to go ahead and double click it. So it should start installing and it should finish pretty quickly. Yeah, but as you can see, it took a few seconds. As it says here, whenever Roblox updates, you want to rerun this file. So it updates along with Roblox and then you get all the features again. Press any key to continue. Alright, so it should be fully installed now. Now head into Roblox and then you should see the differences. So now that we're back in Roblox, if you press Shift and F5, you should see your FPS as uncapped. On top of this, there should be an FPS boost. And then if you go into settings, there should be 21 graphic bars. If not, then you've probably done something wrong in all these steps, so I recommend twice now. I recommend you find support in their Discord, which is .gg/OptiFury. So movement in Blox is pretty simplistic in my opinion. There aren't many movement mechanics to go over, but the foundation of this tip relies on a macro, so make sure you have one as I went over it in tip number 1. So now that you have a macro, the more advanced stage of the movement would be mixing up your movement, and by this I mean don't follow patterns and make it inconsistent. So here's an example of pattern movement versus inconsistent movement, and what you want is the inconsistent one. Also, I forgot to mention that make sure you're using Mink V3 correctly, and by this I mean to not waste it on random moments. Instead use it for example when your Ken is gone, or you can tell by the playstyle that they're about to go aggressive. There are many other tiny tweaks that you can make with movement, although I won't go over them as it comes with experience usually. The most advanced part that most people will find difficult will be implementing sword M1s into your movement. This is an example here of with and without sword M1s. Makes it far harder to hit, but is very difficult to use correctly, and most people just fail, so you don't really want to be spamming sword M1s, but using them every now and then to make you harder to hit. A good time to use sword M1s would be when fighting a gun main and they're focusing on clicking. Their other moves are on cooldown. Where a bad time would be when you're fighting a sword main and their moves are not on cooldown. So you just have to know when to implement it. I suppose this does come with experience, so don't really deep it too much if you can't get it down. But if you can, then good on you, I guess. Yeah. I've got many more tips, so tell me down in the comments if you want me to focus on these type of videos, or should I stop them and just stick with montages, or I can do a mixture of both. Also, I might make a community Discord, so if you think this is a good idea, then please leave a comment saying so. Or if you have any more questions, then feel free to DM me on Discord. As you can see here, it's just support things. I'll leave in a description, or you can leave a comment with the question. Anyways, have a good day and bye bye.